The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
डिस्क्लेमर, मेरी आप सबसे गुजारिश है, ये वीडियो सिर्फ एंटरटेनमेंट के लिए। मेरी वीडियो का मकसद सिर्फ सोसाइटी में गंदगी फैलाने वालों को साफ करना है, तो लिहाजा इस वीडियो को अपने दिल के फेफड़ों पे मत लेना। ज्यादा तबीयत खराब हो तो किसी अच्छे डॉक्टर के पास जाकर अपना इलाज करवा लेना।
Hold up, hashtag heels for life. Wanna welcome everybody, yeah, we gotta get it hype. Hey, every week talking wrestling, we get into it. Current events, even guests that we're interviewing. Hosted by Chris, Kid USA, and Nappy Boy. Shout out to Ziggy, put the SmackDown, you can't ignore. The best you gon' find anywhere online. Tell the competition they about to get clothesline. Hold up, hashtag heels for life. Let's go.
Welcome to the Heels for Life Wrestling Podcast, episode 195. We are 4 episodes away from the 200 episode. So, let's go around the room. We got a special guest, Mr. Steven. He came back. I asked him to come back.
Hey, your boy.
Down there.
Oh, yeah, your boy, the Enforcer.
And of course, I'm Rocket Reese, and we are the two co-hosts of Embrace the Thirst, which is earlier today.
So, everyone, before we start, anytime that you want to give us a donation, you can always go to $, Mr. Team Bring It, and just go to our Cash App. Also, remember to like and subscribe to our YouTube page. Hashtag Heels for Life Wrestling Podcast, exclusively on YouTube, and also check out our Facebook page as well on Hashtag Heels for Life Wrestling Podcast as well. And if you have any questions, suggestions, comments, or anything, you can also go to Hashtag Heels for Life Wrestling Podcast at gmail.com as well. So tonight, everyone, we have a loaded show. We are going to be talking about Raw. We're going to talk about SmackDown. We're also going to talk about AEW Grand Slam. And also we're going to talk about AEW Rampage as well. So let's go with, first of all, let's start with Raw first. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. So, Raw results. On the past Wild Monday Night Raw, Bayley defeated Alexa Bliss in an intense grudge match. After the match, Bayley challenged Bianca Belair to a Raw Women's title match at Extreme Rules. Plus, Dexter Lumis again tried to adopt The Miz, Matt Riddle, and Seth Rollins agreed to meet inside the fight pit at WWE Extreme Rules. Kevin Owens defeat Austin Theory. Bobby Lashley retained the United States title, and so much more. So, gentlemen, let's get into this.
I want to talk about this Bayley Bianca Belair. First of all, it's at Extreme Rules. If you remember Bayley's history when it comes to that term, Extreme Rules, she's not. Well, she started out as a wrestler that was not into Extreme Rules. Like, if I remember, I think she lost the title because of the Extreme Rules.
She did.
Yep. Ironically enough, in her hometown.
In
her hometown.
So the fact that this is in Philly, and for what it looks like, Extreme Rules is going to be a stipulation-filled pay-per-view, PLE, whatever you want to call it. I think they're going to actually pull the trigger and give Bayley this belt. I just don't know what match they're going to do it in.
In this situation, you have to. You have to in this situation. She just came back. You're trying to establish damage control as a force. You have to pull the trigger.
Especially because with Dakota and Io being the tag champions, so yeah, you gotta like at least hook Bayley up with that championship. Plus, not to mention, this would come full circle because remember, Bayley was supposed to have an I Quit match with Bianca before she got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And,
oh, that might be the match.
Then,
that might be the match. But you know what? If you look at social media now, Bayley's teasing about taking the SmackDown title. It's a video of her creeping, trying to grab the SmackDown title, but she grabbed her hand like, no, not yet. So
I wouldn't do that yet. Like, right. I mean, yeah, like everybody wants to be the undisputed champion. You know what I'm saying? I think Bayley needs to handle Bianca Belair. I mean, she got enough on her plate right now. So yeah, you know, everybody do not need to be a 2-point bloodline. You know what I'm saying? No. So.
Oh Lord,
yeah. I think with Damage Control, I think you need to somehow, because like I don't know, maybe it's just me. There's something either missing there or something that's just not clicking with everybody yet with Damage Control.
What do you think it might not be clicking with Damage Control?
I'm not sure. That's the thing. They have all the talent in the world. I don't know whether it's the way they present themselves when they cut a promo or what. Is just something's not clicking to me. I don't know. Maybe it's just me though.
I gotta agree with you a little bit. Go ahead, Tim.
No, I was just gonna say maybe it's something like, okay, I don't know if it's they got freedom now on the mic. I don't know, because it seemed like everybody is now they are more loud with their promos. They're more themselves, and everybody's not used to that yet. Like they still, some people still got the robotic WWE promo in their head. Like, okay, they're gonna talk for like 15 minutes about nothing, and then let's get on to the story. And they're not used to it yet. Like honestly, I kind of like that they're not telling Eero to learn English and stuff. Like, no, say what you could say, and then speak your fluent language, and hell, you're a heel. So it don't matter what you say in your language, because then they go boo you anyway. So she could say that I like cupcakes, and they go boo her and shit. So keep it that way. And Dakota Kai, my thing is this with Dakota Kai, like you said, all the talent in the world. She getting her shine on right now, but she was still working on being a heel down in NXT, and it was not even done yet. So it's still cooking. It's still in the oven, but it's not done yet. You know what I mean? So and Bayley is Bayley. She just getting her wheels back in motion. She's been gone for almost a year.
Yeah.
So it's just timing right now for them.
Oh, there you go. That was part of what I was getting ready to say, because you remember back to that first promo she cut, and she really let the crowd get to her. But I was like, now that she's got performing in front of the fans again, because remember, like when she was really getting her shine in, it was during the pandemic era. So it's like, to that aspect, they kind of need to click a little bit more on as far as that aspect, but then also their in-ring work as well. Is that Dakota and Io had been rivals for like such a long time in NXT that now to have them all of a sudden be a team is like they got the teamwork a little bit, but they just need to like connect the minor details, and then also depends on like what opponents you're putting them in the ring with too.
I was gonna say that they never tag team before. I don't think so. That takes time to get good chemistry, because a lot of people that just tag team that they just put together, it always looks sloppy in the beginning, but give them 4 to 5 months, they have shit clicking where they don't have to look at each other. They just know what to do next. So we just gotta give them time. Like, remember, SummerSlam was what, the end of July, August. So we got two months. I give them probably around Survivor Series to have it clicking.
So let me read Ty's comment. She said it's Bailey's time. I love Bianca Belair, but she needs to drop the title. Face Bianca Belair is boring to me. The heel NXT Bianca is fire. She's a real good heel to me. What do you guys think about that?
I agree, and I'm gonna explain why. When she was a heel in NXT, and you know, like y'all brought up, that kind of that freedom to be able to speak. Like when she was a heel in NXT, it sounded like who she might really be. You know what I'm saying? It sounded like that's her personality. That's her. Mm-hmm. When she's a baby face, it doesn't come off as that's who she really is. I could be wrong, but I feel like to me, on the microphone, she sounded more genuine as a heel than she did as a face.
So you think she's more of a bitch versus being a Wicked Witch of the East?
I wouldn't necessarily say that she's a bitch or anything, but just like the way that she talked, like the way that she talked, like when she was down in NXT, you know, the whole "you don't even go here" and and all that, like that.
Yeah.
It's the toughest, the quickest, the best.
It sound more unique as a heel because it sound cocky. It sound like you know.
Oh, especially when she used to do the
Yeah. She sound like every chick we know in our family or a friend. She sound like those chicks, like those chicks that get on your goddamn nerves. But you know,
you're right.
Basically, a Felicia, but if she was good looking.
Yeah, I like that. She was like
Felicia.
She's a bougie. She's bougie and confident, right? So, but as a face, like I said, it's more challenging to be a face because you're trying to make everybody like you. As a heel, it's so easy to get people to not to like you because one, like we could be her, like you said, she could be a bitch in real life, and that it could go for some people. That's what being yourself. Oh, you're not likable. Okay, that's easy. Clock. A good heel is mostly being yourself anyway.
Right.
So
and like people tell me that I'm a bitch in real life. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I mean, like, but yeah, like I'm a heel, like, but I'm a really cool person. But like, I like to tap into my persona. My persona is just being an ass. That's just me, and that's Bianca. I'm sorry though, but she is a bitch, and I love it. Yeah. But let's move on. Let's talk about the Seth Rollins and Bobby Lashley United States title match. Now, I knew for a fact that Bobby Lashley is not dropping that title, but then also I knew that Riddle was going to be lurking because once again, like when we was talking about on our last episode, that Riddle and Seth feud need to continue. Probably for 2 more, maybe pay-per-views, maybe. Everything could come ahead at like Survivor Series or another, gimmick type of pay-per-view. But the feud is too hot, and it's gonna get worse at Extreme Rules. So, but no, Seth Rollins and Bobby Lashley had a great match.
Yes, it was a. First of all, I love that it opened up the show. So it opened up the show. We had no shenanigans, no interview, promo. It went straight to a title match, and the match was fire. Like one spot that got me. I never saw nobody reverse the curve stomp by not moving.
Right, that's like, dude, your neck is that stiff.
Right, like, he's just standing, and he just looked down like. I was like,
but that's the cool thing. It's believable from Bobby Lashley. Look how big and strong this motherfucker is. Man.
Yes. Right. I think I'm gonna say this. Since Bobby came back from injury, I didn't even count when he was 30 champ. I'm talking when he came back from injury, they finally got it right with Bobby Lashley. It took years, and they should have had this from day one when he came back. But they finally got it right that you got a freaking machine in Bobby Lashley. You got a wrestling machine, and the crowd is feeling him. That's number one. That's important. So you got
and mind you, a 46-year-old wrestling machine that doesn't even look any bit of 46 years old.
He looks like a lot of wrestlers. He looks like how he looked when he first came on SmackDown.
Yeah, he came in at like 2006, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he looks the
2005,
same.
2006, somewhere.
And
around
he's
there.
46. That's the funny part.
He looks
And
the
he's not
same.
only 46, but normally when wrestlers get around that age,
They start shrinking.
They
they're
start to slow
Actually,
down.
they slow down. There's like a misstep. You can just tell when they're not in their prime. Not Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley is still, he's on top of his game.
Let
So
me
what is
tell you
CM Punk's problem?
Let me tell you this.
He ain't in shape.
That dude is a former Army wrestler.
Yep.
Their conditioning,
champion.
yes, their conditioning will make the Olympic conditions look like playgrounds, exercise.
Kindergarten.
Right. So he still does those, those exercises, those workouts.
You sure do.
And
Yeah.
I mean, Bobby. I wish I could look.
And stuff to go to the other point you mentioned. Yeah, how many 46-year-old dudes look as cut as Lashley do?
How many
Right.
26-year-olds look like Lashley?
Not many.
It's not even people that's half his age that look like Bobby Lashley.
Dan Johnson said this from YouTube. He said that a lot of wrestling companies are really bad at booking face champions compared to heel champs.
Yeah,
That's a point. That's a good point.
I think the problem is that, and mind you, this is me on the outside looking in. So, just take what you want for what I'm about to say. I think a lot of these companies give their faces bad advice. They tell them the same formula that's been going on for, since wrestling been around. Smile when you come to the ring, slap the hands of the fans, sound like just the usual babyface stuff. But they got to remember we're in 2022. But to be honest, the regular babyface stuff hasn't been a thing since like the 90s. So I think when it comes to being a face, not just a face champion, but a face in general, it's trying to find something that's not cookie cutter, but yet fans would appeal to. Mm-hmm. Like, for example, the best faces in the game right now is the Acclaim.
Very much so.
The
Acclaim,
they're over. They're over. But you know what? We come from, not all of us come from an age where the babyface was being themselves, was being that badass, and and I don't know where it changed. Probably when the PG era and how society is with you judge everything, they criticize everything, they want to cancel things, all that stuff. So they trying to watch what they're saying or watch what they're doing now, so they won't get subject on some type of other show or stuff like that. But the wrestling fan base also is patience, because we got a problem with that as fans. Like, okay, we know that you're gonna shove this person down our throat. We know this, but damn, do you got to do it every? Like, you don't trust us to have organically like this dude. You want to shove it down our throat. And we start snapping on real quick. Like, okay, I'm tired of this. I want him instead of the guy you trying to give me to be the champion. I believe in this other guy. And look how long it took for Roman Reigns to get over. We booed him out the building multiple times,
especially in Philly.
All right, so I mean, if we would have got this Roman Reigns organically, let him talk the way he's talking now and stuff like that, we would have got behind Roman Reigns. But you just try to make him Super Cena, throw him down throats and all that stuff. Like, oh, he beat the Big Show I don't know how many times, but like no one else beat the Big Show before and stuff like that. And
I think with that, there's a time and place for everything. Maybe it just wasn't his time to be the tribal chief at that time, because like they say, God has a plan for your life, and maybe after the pandemic, this was just that was the right time.
Do you think the pandemic helped them? Because
I think a combination.
Yes.
I think a combination of the pandemic and frustration past 4 or 5 years of trying to force him down our throat made the heel turn even bigger than what it is. You know, now that you mention it, I think it's a combination of both. You combine the pandemic and you combine the fact that we were already so sick and tired of him, not necessarily seeing him, but him getting push after push after push. And then you put legend after legend after legend to try to make this guy. And then we see it fail time and time again. All that build up to why the whole tribal chief thing is successful.
But if you think about it, though, it's kind of like art and life imitating each other. Because y'all remember when we was kids, we always wanted to be Batman because we always liked the Batmobiles and whatnot. But then, like, as we got older, then we started kind of digging the Joker or somebody.
Yes.
Or you think about, like, what's another good? Or you wanted to be like Tony Montana or somebody because they just had, like, a certain charisma to them. And that's kind of like how we went for wrestling because, like, when we was kids, people was either into, like, depending on what type of babyface and what type of wrestling you was into. You was at first with the Dusty Rhodes, with the Hard Times, or the Hulk Hogan and stuff. But then when you got older, you kind of got into the Stone Cold, like, if somebody pisses you off, just flip 2 middle fingers up and whoop their ass, or a rock, where it's just like, oh, if this dude's being corny, I'll just say this and just, like, cut him and whatnot, and then whoop his ass and kind of into that. So it's like society kind of changed along with wrestling, and it's like both kind of bled into each other.
Right.
That's just like right now, like how we are with all type of sports. The guy the cockiest guy, the dude, the people that don't like, we're rooting them on instead of the nice guy, the clean cut person that's. He's innocent. He don't break no laws, nothing like that. But we could cheer the guy that just I don't know how y'all feel, but like if you watch UFC and you see Conor McGregor come on, Nate Diaz, y'all know they're badasses. They got the most dirtiest mouths ever. Right? Dirtiest mouths ever. They just curse you out. Well, we're cheering them on, but you can have the nicest guy like GSP, or Anderson Silva.
I want to kind of go back into there's some good notes about what happened on Raw for the people that didn't watch it. I'm not going to talk about the Judgment Day defeats Riddle and Rey Mysterio versus via pinfall, but I really want to talk about this. So they're going to be reviving the Fight Pit. So the Fight Pit, for the people that don't know, there was a fight pit that happened back at SummerSlam '98 with I think it was Ken Shamrock versus Owen Hart. So they're going to be bringing that back. Now this is some old shit that Triple H is bringing out of the basement, if you will. Like he's bringing back some of the old NXT days and some of the Attitude Era blueprints, if you will, and I think I'm really, really digging this. I think I know where Triple H is going to go with as far as like WWE, implementing old WCW, matches and gimmicks.
Survivor Series.
Yes, Survivor Series is board game, so we'll definitely talk about that. But I also want to go in and talk about what else happened on Raw. So Damage Control held a celebration with Dakota Kai and Io Sky women's tag team title victory. Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, and Asuka interrupted after Damage Control took 2 shots at the trio. Alexa Bliss then challenged Bayley to a match later on that night. Then Kevin Owens defended Austin Theory via pinfall with a pop-up powerbomb. Theory was distracted when Johnny Gargano came out to ringside and took Theory's Money in the Bank briefcase. And then the Brawling Brutes defended the Street Profits via pinfall, continuing the momentum ahead to their challenge for the undisputed tag team titles that they lost on Friday. Mr. Loomis cut through the ring during the episode of Miz TV. I am so sorry, but I am getting tired of they using Dex Loomis as like Kane. Like we seen this shit before. At first it was kind of interesting, but now it's kind of getting a little bit stale. Also, this is another thing too. Finn Balor confronted AJ Styles backstage, accusing AJ Styles of turning his back on him. AJ refused to engage, and Balor acted like he wanted to fight before he laughed. Hugged an angry AJ Styles and reminded him there's an open invitation to join the Judgment Day.
I'll be interested just for the match. I don't want to see AJ join the Judgment Day. I would love to see them have another match though.
And see, the cool thing about them having a match is this will be a match where once again Vince McMahon is not at the head of not running things. So now that they have the producers and stuff have a little more freedom, or they probably Triple H will probably be like, look, y'all just go out there do your thing. You know what I'm saying? So the match. Remember, because they already had a match before.
When AJ had to come in to replace Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they did that on the top they had. That no type of rehearsal and nothing. That was a banger.
Mm-hmm. So. Exactly. So did you guys have any more comments about Raw? Because if we don't, then we're gonna get to the nitty gritty with AEW Dynamite.
Yeah, because with Raw, I kind of brought this up briefly. That is Gargano's trying to steal that briefcase. I'm like, are we headed for another kind of Damien Sandow versus Cody or Edge versus Kennedy, where Gargano and Theory are going to fight for the Money in the Bank?
I hope not.
I mean, we had it happen as recent as Miz winning the briefcase from Otis. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then too, I think Randy Orton took the briefcase. No, Edge took the briefcase away from Kennedy. Mm-hmm. Kennedy. Mm-hmm. Before. So my whole thing with Austin Theory is he's under development. It's either they're going to take the briefcase away from him, or he's going to be the first man in WWE history to have the money in the bank briefcase, and the time it will expire on him. They might do that because you know how WWE like to chase after history or make history. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That would be interesting. But if they were to go that route, you have to do it in a way that it makes sense.
But which part makes sense though?
I'm talking about as far as getting close to it expiring. Like you kind of make a storyline about that, about a month or so before it does expire. Like you have Adam Pearce or somebody come to him and like, look, we letting you know now you have to this date to cash in this briefcase, or it's going to expire. It'll be non and void. And maybe you just have them kind of bullshit around with it. Or something like that, and then
the crew said that would be shit. Send Theory back to the mid card and keep him there. Okay, so the thing is that this was based on an old man having sexual fantasies for a John Cena 2.0. Okay, this is the reason why Theory is in that place. Now, what you have to do is you have to reverse the damage. Reversing the damage is taking that goddamn briefcase off of him and putting it on somebody that is worthy. Who is worthy is currently Kevin Owens or Johnny Gargano. Johnny Gargano right now is a force to be reckoned with if they use him correctly.
Triple H going to, but I was like, I would definitely if I had a choice, I would definitely go KO, because the promos he's been cutting lately
has been
fire.
Man,
that dude on the mic is guaranteed gold.
Golden, man.
Guaranteed gold. And if they do go that route where he got to defend the briefcase, and look like you say, like Johnny Gargano is trying to get in the fold, but if you making a triple threat match for the ladder match with Kevin Owens in it, it keeps Johnny strong because he just got there. So he's not taking a pinfall loss. And at the same time, you can take that damn briefcase away from Theory and put, like Cruz said, put him back in the mid card and let him develop. Because I'm not saying his matches have been bad, because he had a good match with Austin Theory.
He needs character work.
Yeah.
Especially when he gets owned by somebody, because like this,
owned a couple of times.
Ever since that promo where Roman let loose on him, saying, "Yo, Daddy ain't here right now."
That's it.
That
was it.
And then every time KO has a microphone around that man, he makes that man feel so little, and it's not his fault. When it comes to Austin Theory, you got to remember the dude is all of maybe 22, 23, 24.
That don't mean shit, because look at MJF.
No, this is what I'm getting at though. What I'm getting at is that he actually kind of proved my point there. He's not an MJF. He's not a one of a kind. MJF is a true student of the game. There's some people that's better at that age than others. MJF is better all around at that age than Austin Theory is. You got to remember, Austin Theory, when he was on the Indies, all he did was wrestle. He never had to really have a character on the Indies. With MJF made sure he was the total package on the Indies. Because he knew what he needed to have to get to the next step. He knew it's beyond the wrestling. He knew he had to make sure he had a gimmick, he had a character that can elicit a reaction from people and stuff like that. That's the only thing that Austin Theory is missing. The dude can work his ass off in the ring. He just doesn't really have a character. Well, even now, with the cell phone gimmick, it doesn't feel genuine. Don't feel like it's him.
That's cell phone gimmick with somebody else's.
Yeah, that was somebody else's. But, I mean, Austin Theory had a character. But this is the problem when you go to WWE. Your character don't come with you in WWE. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? The line when you come to WWE is this: what you did outside WWE don't matter when you come here. Now WWE is turning a new leaf because they mentioning things that happen outside WWE. Michael Cole mentioned PWG, and I almost fell off my chair that he mentioned fucking Pro Wrestling Guerrilla on 30 programming. You know, like this stuff.
Even the stuff with Io and Asuka being the
right. So he Theory had a character and Evolve. His mic game was good, but remember this too. Also, you can't do a lot of cursing in WWE.
No,
you can't really speak your mind like you speak in the Indies. So he got to work on that too, because he could have blown up when Roman said something about your daddy. He could have blew up and got emotional and messed up his whole career, but he just had to take it. So once he learned how to take it and make a comeback without trying to think indie comeback, maybe he'd be all right. But his work ethic, like you said, his work ethic is getting better in the ring. It's just that we gotta find who you are in the WWE.
And speaking of finding out who you are, I hope AEW get their life together, whatever, and find their personality again. So let's first go with Claudio versus Chris Jericho. Yeah.
No.
So, not to be disrespectful, but this is what happens when you have too many belts, and when you have old men that is basically chasing after history, and they know they don't have no business doing that whatsoever. So Claudio versus Chris Jericho was a good match. Don't get me wrong. Chris Jericho has been putting in work. He has. But the Claudio problem. Same Claudio from WWE made his way to AEW, unfortunately. Damn. Claudio has no personality. Claudio cannot draw a dime, let alone a penny. And that's the reason why they took the belt off. And also AEW is getting ready to have a new deal possibly in the near future for Ring of Honor. So with that being said, who would you have? Would you have a motherfucker that can't draw a dime? Or would you have someone that has a stature and basically is the face of AEW and was the first AEW champion as well.
Reese,
so
what
it's
did
like,
I say?
It's not too hard to figure that part out, you know.
Reese is my witness on this one. I just said this. I said they are trying to get a deal, and you going to someone that's name is still
carrying some value to it.
It's carrying like you said, carrying some fire to it, and they trying to get a TV deal for Ring of Honor. Claudio, if you want to call him Cesaro, whatever you want to call him, he's not that guy.
No.
When AEW started at Dynamite, who was the first champion? Chris Jericho. So they try and use Chris Jericho name again to make at least a TV deal or at least a negotiation coup for Ring of Honor to get some type of deal so they can start working on Ring of Honor. That's the only thing that makes sense of putting that belt, which if you're a Ring of Honor fan, you're looking at like Chris Jericho as Ring of Honor champion, but that's the only thing that makes sense because it's not like Chris will defend that belt and become next to Samoa Joe's record of Ring of Honor champion. No. But then also there's also a storyline with Daniel Garcia. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? There's a storyline with that. So, I mean, there were factors of why Claudio lost, but now he's about to go back to catering because there's really nothing for him to do.
Yeah, and here's the thing when it comes to Claudio is that I thought of like when he was on what was the show that they do after SmackDown? Smack Talk, right?
Talk Smack.
Do they still got that?
Yeah,
they do. I had to think about what it was called for a minute, but yeah. Right when he was doing his program in between with Seth, and then he was getting ready to challenge Roman for the title, there was an episode he cut one hell of a promo right there. But the thing is, that Claudio doesn't get onto TV, and this is what happens with some guys in WWE, because I thought of like why Jon Moxley kind of didn't be as successful as he was, because all right, remember the Money in the Bank match with him and Seth? They were going for the WWE title, and then both of them had their hands on belts, and then they came down at the same time, but then the title just bounced on Rollins. Yeah. After that match is over and the show went off the air, Mox is in the ring, he's cutting a promo, and it was a damn good one. And it wound up getting a huge pop. And it was like, damn, why can't y'all have Dean Ambrose talk like that when the cameras are rolling and the show's live? And it's like, again, this is whatever narrative Vince wants to try and push, but it's like, yeah, if you give these guys a couple of chances and whatever, it's like, yeah, they had the bullet points, but they're also speaking authentically, which is what all three of you like referred to earlier in the show. And that's kind of been Claudio's whole thing, is that whenever he does talk authentically about his fashion wrestling, it's usually when the cameras aren't running and there's no audience.
You gotta remember that when he did that, who was next to him?
Paul Heyman. And you know Paul Heyman loves when you could talk your talk. And I mean, think about it. It's like you said, talking smack. A lot of people had their best promos actually happened on that show.
Right.
Their best promos happened on that show. Miz became a star after he did his promo on that show. Even I think Big E got pushed after he did his promo on that show. Even Apollo Crews became a heel after he did a promo on that show. When you do a good promo on that show, for some reason that's you get a push or a title shot or getting a main third. When he did that on Talking Smack, guess what happened next? He got to win at WrestleMania. Then he got a title shot. They knew he was a good worker. They knew this. Vince said this in public. He likes Cesaro. He just don't know if he got the it factor.
He can't grab that brass ring.
He don't have the it factor. And it don't matter if he's in WWE or AEW. You can work your ass off. But when you get that mic on the phone, and we've seen it like for a couple weeks, he's been talking on TV, but I'm not feeling it.
So Chris Williams from the Take It Home podcast, please subscribe to his podcast. Very informative.
What's up, classic?
So he said, remember Chris Jericho. Even wait a minute. Many remember Chris Jericho even if they stopped watching. Claudio is an example of some say WWE used him and buried him, but some of us knew what was up. No personality. I still like him though.
And that's the very sad case when it comes to Claudio Castagnoli, you know.
And then you had him in a group with John Moxley and Danielson. He was the second to last in the group. Damn, that's fucked up.
Well, unless you ask CM Punk, but
then you got Eula too, but
we're not gonna mention.
Wait till we get to that part of the discussion, boy. We finna go in.
That's the next topic on discussion. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
But yeah, when it comes to Claudio, man, it's a sad situation. It's proof that you can't just rely on work rate to get you over. You can't rely on that 100% of the time. You have to have some sort of personality or something like that, or just hell. If you're not good at talking on the mic, just make sure the very few words that you do say are impactful. You can get over that way. Just do something to just something.
But Claudio had a manager and he was still trash.
Although,
I was just about to say that he was a Heyman guy.
He was a Heyman guy. Like
he had
Paul told the story about this too.
He had Paul Heyman, and it didn't work. He just won the Andre Memorial Battle Royal, which at that time I think that was the first one.
Yeah,
and
at WrestleMania.
Willis, we're not doing this. We're not gonna go back to. We're gonna talk about your favorite superstar. Give him time. No, motherfucker, we're not going to give him time. How much time do you need? How many time? How long have we seen Claudio wrestle? My nigga, it's been 10 years, right? So you telling me that I need to add another 10 years? My nigga, by the 10th year, I'll be fucking 50.
He's a 20-year vet.
Bro, like we can't not do this. Claudio is trash, plain and simple. No fucking charisma, no fucking no personality. He can wrestle his ass off. I will give him that. But that is as far as I would go with that.
I would say there was one chance he did have.
The bar?
Well,
that's because he had somebody
outside
with
the bar.
What about We the People?
All right, even outside of them.
Because he had Zed Corp. He had Zed Corp. He had Zed, and you had him and
Swagger.
Two people that could wrestle. Two people that can't talk.
What about when he did that 007 shit?
Thank you. That was just where I was getting ready to go.
That
because remember when he had the D Malenko remix?
If
they would have put that with the 007 look, it would have made a lot more sense.
Yes, Claudio has been in the game for a long time, and yes, Chris, I know he's not going to change his ways, and because he's not going to change his ways, he's going to be stuck in the same loop that he's been in for years. Just saying.
You know what? I know what some people think, because there are some wrestlers that actually got away with this no charisma, but guess what? Their work was so impactful in the business, you forget that they sucked on the mic.
Like who? Give us some names.
Bret Hart, Chris Benoit, British Bulldog,
Malenko.
Their mic skills was not, but their wrestling.
Brett had
97. Brett was
97. Brett was on another level.
97 Brett was on another level because he was already pissed off and he wanted to be out the door. When you pissed off in the rest of the business and you get to say what you want to say, guess what? You are one of the hottest things in the company.
Well, that was mostly because Sean was still Zack Baylor was supposed to go on that stuff, and then Vince was kind of being crooked too a little bit.
So Bret Hart had sunny days in 97.
I agree with Cruz.
But I mean, that makes you upset. Like when you have sunny days, you should be happy.
Not if the bitch giving everybody the damn pussy.
Hey, Cruz, I wanna add to that, Cruz. If he's not in the G1 next year, or at least the New Japan Cup next year, then what the fuck is he doing there for?
Yeah.
That's just me keeping it real.
That's a perfect place for him to go.
That's me keeping it real.
Antonio, what was you talking about before we went on the air? You said that the G1 should be a global thing instead of in-house.
Yeah.
Can you explain more about that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the G1 is one of the most grueling tournaments in New Japan, and it's like 14 days,
damn near a month,
but for at least you have
it's
matches.
a round robin.
It's a round robin, and they had the same people in there most of the time. You probably get one or two different people, or maybe three, but it was put on by another wrestler, Tama Tonga, who said they should make it glorious. Let's invite people in. Because people getting sick of seeing the same matches every year.
Like for example, like Toru Yano is in the G1 every fucking year, but he's like the how do I put this, Chris? He's like
the homecoming match.
He's the comedy match. He's the
comedy match. He's like the Santino Marella, the R-Truth. He's like he's the R-Truth for New Japan, basically.
Yeah. You got
is he real niggerish or like what?
No, not niggerish, but he's like funny. He does goofy shit.
Yeah, so that's what it's basically saying, like Santino.
Okay, hold on. I want to go back. I just saw that comment. You telling me Bret Hart was good on the mic?
Bret was good on the mic in 97.
97, when he turned heel.
When he turned heel, he was good on the mic.
Maybe I'll say there were a couple of times when he was like the whole thing with Bulldog, like when they were doing the whole SummerSlam match. I'll give him that one. But if we look at Bret as an overall dude, I would say no when he was originally on his
90s. Everybody said 97. I'm gonna give y'all 97 because that's when everybody know who to fucking cheer for. If you was a foreigner, you're booing them, and you was in outside of the states, you was cheering them. Cool. All right, I get that. But as his career as a whole, no, he was not good on the mic. But his work outweighed his mic work.
Yeah.
So Miss Marie has a question. She says, "So what do I think about Logan Paul? I mean, what about him? I mean, he's just a YouTuber. The only thing is that he got more money than me. He got more subscribers than me. But yet, I can talk better than him. And this is my table. This is my podcast, and I know that I can be a lot more better than Logan Paul. So to answer your question, I don't give a fuck about Mr. Dennis the Menace. I don't give a shit about him.
And let's not take this match seriously. It's gonna be at Crown Jewel. It's not at Survivor.
But still, that's still on WWE programming. And the WWE cannot fool me when they say that some Saudi prince want to see Logan Paul, and this motherfucker still think that Macho Man is still alive.
Well, I get that, but let's not sacrifice nobody for Roman Reigns for Crown Jewel.
But he's just basically a Scooby snack.
And let him get munched the fuck up.
All right, Jesus, do I need to get on my soapbox right now? I'm gonna explain to you why this is bad. I'm finna get on my fucking soapbox.
Go ahead, Steph. Go ahead.
And Chris, you already heard my take on this. This will be the first time that these two heard my take on this. I'm gonna tell you why it's bad.
Probably about me.
Because we see this in music and we see it in movies, where social media influencers infiltrate a different part of the media. And then next thing you know, everybody think they can do it. I don't want to see this shit happen in wrestling. It's already starting to happen in wrestling when you bring in people like, let's see who done been in the ring in the past year. Bad Bunny, Logan Paul. Recently, Action Bronson was in the ring. Shaq. Do I need to continue?
But okay, I'm not gonna lie.
There's a way lot more.
Some of them are good.
And I applaud them. But let me tell you where it's bad. Let me ask y'all this question. Do any of them niggas I just named need the money?
No.
Chris, we've been in our Twitter space talking to independent wrestlers for the past 2 or 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to people infiltrating the industry where there's motherfuckers that's really out here struggling, trying to get to where they can get a consistent payday, that's where I have a problem with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and them
that's why
them indie wrestlers that we talk to, they are struggling, and they are serious.
So that's why
they're not getting the shine that Logan Paul or what's his name? Bad Bunny and some of these celebrities are getting. And I'm just like, you shouldn't be. I mean, you're coming in part-time or whatever, and you came from fucking YouTube, and yet you came from fucking YouTube, and you're the #1 contender for the undisputed championship.
Right. So excuse me if I'm a little passionate about it. That's why I said it's a goddamn slap in the face. That's why I don't like it. Because there's motherfuckers that's been grinding 10, 15, 20 years trying to get there. This motherfucker only wrestled 2 matches. He's going to get a title shot and a big ass payday. Meanwhile, not on top of that, but taking a spot from somebody else that's been busting their ass. And what I'm afraid of, is that all these fans out here are going to get used to that. And then in the next 2 or 3 years, WrestleMania is filled with a bunch of social media influences, and there's barely any wrestlers wrestling on the fucking card. We had a glimpse of that this year.
But you know what though? And I'm gonna say this. This was if you want to go history on it, this shit all started
WrestleMania 1.
First WrestleMania. When they made it all studded Muhammad Ali and
go back before that. Go back to like the Brawl for All.
Muhammad Ali was exactly. So when you bring in celebrities in, first of all, and you go back a couple of years ago, I think Dolph Ziggler or was Johnny Nitro at the time was pissed off because they took their time away for Snooki and other people.
Yeah, it was
that bitch.
Yeah, took their spot.
Granted, I'm saying y'all are all right. In the past, they have new celebrities, but there's a difference between then and now. Now, more and more celebrities are actually wrestling versus just making an appearance. That's where my problem comes in with it. Is them actually stepping into the ring.
We got and get this. They're making their own company right now. We got one of the rappers from Buffalo is making a wrestling company, and down in Atlanta, what's my man name?
Somebody a little Scrappy.
Yeah, he's trying to get a wrestling company because he had one good match. All he was doing was finishers and shit. Like he had a finisher L1, L1, L1. So, they think this is easy.
Yeah. But no, let's go back to Grand Slam because we still got like.
Oh yeah, the next part.
Let's talk about the MJF and Eula situation.
Why?
All right, AEW. I know Dynamite's in Philly this Wednesday, but if you're trying to set this whole thing up, y'all did a lousy job of doing it.
And he's gonna get booed in his hometown.
And he's gonna take an L on top of that. So all the reasons we just named consecutively just now makes no sense on why this segment even happened. Everybody knows this dude Yuta's not good on the mic.
Yuta tried it, but he failed.
Yeah,
like I think it was a mistake to go against a savage like MJF. Like, and then he went through the whole entire Combat Club. First, he said that you can't go to Jon Moxley because he doesn't have it up here. Then he said that Daniel Bryan, you can't go to him because he always have concussions all the time. And then he went to William Regal, said that, well, I mean, it's really hard to go to somebody that pop pills like candy. And I'm like, you just slapped the shit out of MJF. I'm like, he should have. Like that was
but he went through doing with a machine gun, everything, and
you was throwing rocks,
right? And you had Willie Euler, he did try to make a little comeback and stuff.
But like you said though, the dude had he brought a butter knife to a machine gun fight.
It just was not there for me. And then like y'all said, it's gonna be in Philadelphia. okay, we know he's from Philadelphia, but you set him up for failure. Willie Euler. He's from.
Oh, I thought he was from Japan.
Oh no.
He's from Philly.
He's from Philly, but you just set him up for failure in his hometown.
He damn sure didn't talk like he was from Philly.
Oh no, he didn't.
Yeah.
Oh no,
because all the motherfuckers in Philly, they always be talking about the man. Yeah, man. Yeah, Wody. This is about our cheesesteaks and shit.
Yeah,
and
but he smacked him.
Nigga, like you acted like you had a dick in your mouth or some shit. Like you couldn't speak.
He smacked him like he was a Philly.
Boy.
That's about it.
That was the only thing that he did was to smack the shit out of him. I was like, okay, bravo.
I was about to say, he took lessons from Will Smith.
Yeah,
but I don't see this match. This should never happen.
That whole interaction.
You know what? I just had a thought pop into my mind now. I see a double switch happening. It's gonna be a slow one. Garcia, Blackpool Combat, Wheeler, just because of what happened to him, he goes to Jericho.
It could.
Possibly.
I mean, because think about it, the steps was already there. Like, because the first indication is when Daniel Garcia won the Pure Championship. Now, mind you, they were in Buffalo and stuff. They was in Daniel Garcia's hometown, but they cheered Garcia, who's supposed to be the heel in all this. And they were kind of like, well, get you the fuck out of here. He became an afterthought.
And he broke the rule in the match.
He was doomed from day one, to be really honest with you. And then you hate me, you hate to like me. He said promoting and booking a wrestling show is not easy as people may think it is. No, it's not.
No.
It's not. I had a little taste of booking a wrestling card. I run in EFED, so I just haven't did it in real life. I mean, I think I can do it in real life too, but I still need to kind of dabbing in that, and I'm gonna hit you up after the show, Chris. But no, it's not as easy as you may think, because like number one, there are factors when you're booking shit. Like number one, you want to make sure that your face has unique or more so the adequate time to get the shine on, and then you got your mid-carders and then your undercarders, you know what I'm saying? Like you want to make sure everybody has a chance to eat, you know what I'm saying? And everybody is going to take an L and they're not going to like it. That's another thing. Everybody's going to fucking complain like, why in the fuck do I have to take an L to this person? I've been in the company for a long time or whatever. Like sometimes you have to take some L's in order for, to elevate the talent or whatever.
But that's what, that's what make a good company. What used to make a good company was inner competition. Like who wants, it's always everybody want to be. If you're in the wrestling business and you don't want to be the top guy, you're in the wrong freaking business. All right. So we, again, like I said, we all grew up at the time where we watched Attitude Era, we watched, some of us watched WCW, and there was a lot of people. I'll keep it in WWF. A lot of people wanted that spot. Stone Cold was the man. Then Rock won, Triple H, Undertaker, Kane. I can name names.
They were hungry.
They was hungry. They wanted it. And you, like I said, if someone goes down, you already know that they got people lined up.
Next man up.
Now people are so buddy, and then they don't want to take the responsibility to be the number one guy. Because when you're the champion, you're not just a champion, you're the face of the whole company. So you got to do media days and all that stuff. And some people don't want to do it, so they started hide behind the shadows and said, I could just be the mid-card champion.
You can't do that. Like you can't say that, you want to be on top, but then yet you don't put in the groundwork to be the face of that company or whatever. And that's what pisses me off the most. What's going on, Brandon? That goes
to like you hate to like me. That goes to his point right there, because a lot of times, we on the outside, we don't know how wrestlers are when they're out of the ring, because we're like thinking, man, this dude, when we see him on camera, he's like fantastic in the ring. So what's going on? And then when some details about how he is out of the ring start coming out, then it's like, good. Now I kind of see why he's not. Whereas somebody who may not be the most likable guy. All right, Triple H, like during the whole Reign of Terror. Perfect example.
Right.
Now, while Triple H may not be the most likable guy as far as on camera, the thing is, out of the ring, and sometimes maybe not out of the ring, but the thing is, he had been reliable and he knows how to get things going, like if shit derails, because he knows how to handle himself in the ring. He knows how to handle himself out of it. He knows how to adjust on the fly. So it's like, yeah,
I'll say perfect
as much
example.
as we don't like him, yeah, that's why he was on top for so long.
Perfect example was when the I guess the corporation or whatever, the authority was the most hated thing out there, like blah blah. And Triple H turned around, saw a little boy crying, and he broke character in front of everybody, even in front of the camera. Like he's an asshole on camera, but maybe he's one of the coolest guys. Well, to the kids anyway. You don't want to see a little boy cry at his show. All right, he might not be an asshole. He might be that's just his character. Whatever. It's a lot of wrestlers like that. That's like, well, you'll find out about that probably 10, 20 years later when they do shoot interviews and stuff. That's what they say. You don't want to meet your heroes.
Exactly. I'm kind of scared of meeting The Rock. But let's go to the next match. Orange Cassidy. Right. Orange Cassidy versus Pac. For the
what's next?
All-Atlantic World Championship.
Oh, Chris, Acclaim was next.
No, we're not going to go in order. We're just going to
go up.
Right. Yeah. So, or we can talk about the Acclaim. That's fine. So the Acclaim, AEW World Tag Team Championships, Swerve and Our Glory versus the Acclaim.
Feel good moment.
Feel good. It would have been a better moment in Chicago, but still feel good moment.
No. Like, don't get it wrong. Like, yeah, Chicago, you already get enough moments. No offense. But damn it, this is their hometown, man. This needed to happen. That's what needed to happen here, and especially like after the first match, which by the way,
but
I did not think they would top that one. But dude, when the cast
I think this one was better than Chicago. Honestly,
I like Chicago match better. Or I like it better, just because it was organically like it was like honestly you thought that Swerve Our Glory was supposed to be the kind of, supposed to be a 50-50 chant. But they made them like they was the bad guys the whole through. They was 1% there.
A lot of credit to Swerve on that.
Yeah, Swerve. Is a freaking prick.
I would understand, I would have understood if they booed Swerve, but then when Keith Lee came in, then they would already start cheering for that. But that was like, damn, when you was booing Keith Lee though, I was like,
yeah, I mean, I think Keith Lee was embracing the heel persona, to be honest with you. I think he was really embracing it. And I was feeling the energy too.
Well, that was mostly because he knew how overly acclaimed were.
Yeah,
very much so. And
I think the most genius thing that happened in this feud, and because they knew it was going to submit him as a heel, was when Swerve interrupted Max's rap. I'm like, but I was standing there. I was like, bingo, that's the moment. That's it. I was like, now he's a heel. Now he's made, because nobody's done it. And all the time that he's been rapping on the, on AEW, and he was the first one to do it. I'm like, bingo, he's the heel. I was like, that's it. There's no going back now.
But I do gotta acknowledge the craziest part of this whole thing. Oh, Sesame Daddy.
Right.
After The Rock damn near destroyed Billy Gunn almost a quarter century ago, now all of a sudden Billy Gunn's probably getting the loudest pop he has ever gotten in his career.
Right.
In almost like fucking 25 years, like he actually got a huge fucking pop when he did the Famouser or what's the name?
And I see that they're no longer calling him Billy Gunn. I see he's officially now billed as Daddy Ass. Like, it's crazy.
Daddy Ass. Scissor me, Daddy. you ain't gonna scissor me?
Hold on, this way.
I'm this way. Scissor me, Daddy. Yeah.
Oh my god!
That's what I'm talking about.
That was a feel good moment. I gotta say, Dallas just now they got the
homegrown talent.
That part. Listen, the Acclaim a year ago wasn't even on the radar.
Right.
The Acclaim got bigger and bigger and bigger to the point and
they didn't
they're
change.
too hot.
They didn't change.
And they didn't change.
They didn't change. That's what I like about it. They didn't change. They stayed the same. They did their raps, and even though, like you said at the beginning, it got them in trouble. Well, it got them in trouble, but they kept going. Like, this is what we do. This is our character. We're not changing
kept it
nothing.
going. Yeah.
And but now my thing is this: you're champions now. Let's see what happens now.
Right.
I don't think they should take their the foot off the gas. I think should just go full forward with this.
If it's
but
not
see,
broke,
this is the interesting thing.
How would they get booked as champions? I think is where it's going because
that really all depends on
Tony.
I mean, that depends on Tony Khan. He's a crackhead in this situation, so when he blows, he makes stupid decisions. So,
and see, that's the part that I'm scared of because remember, they already hinted at their next challengers in FTR. But you can't book that match yet because to me,
I don't like that.
It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, I don't like that.
What we talked about off before we came on here, the FTR got too much going on. And to try to put them in the title scene right now.
And not to mention that the Ass Boys already went up to FTR and started challenging them for the ROH belts.
Right.
Yeah. That's true. I think that was a deliberate plot to kind of divert, FTR from going after the tag team titles. And I find it very funny that they've been like number one for the past 6 fucking months, and now they're acknowledging the fact that they're the number one contenders. Which I find that to be very funny.
Shit. Yo, Chris, you're right. That is legit 6 months.
Yeah, but they were...
Bro, it's been 6 motherfucking months. They've been the number one contender.
Yeah,
that's legit.
Goddamn ranking system is trash.
Yep. Hey, here's the thing. They were wanting the title shot when the Bucks were the champions. Or hell, even when Jurassic Express were the champions, the FTR was wanting that title shot, but they never did.
Man, Willis, do not get me started on the DX reunion.
Is Billy Gunn going to show up? That's the question. Is Billy Gunn going to show up?
It's probably just going to be Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, I mean, because like I said, once again, didn't they have a fucking reunion like a year ago?
Or like on their 1000th. Yeah, they did that.
They had. You know what? I'm tired of the fucking crosswalk, and I'm tired of the motherfucker that barely can walk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, once they got a battle, I mean, what he gonna do? Oh! Billy
Gunn did make fun of that in TNA.
Yeah,
they did.
Get the adrenaline. I mean, like, bro, like you get the adrenaline up, and then you gonna have another fucking heart attack.
Man,
I'm worried for Triple H, and then Shawn Michaels he walk into walls because he's cross-sided.
I don't think he cried. I just think his face is shrinking.
No, that eye. Ever since he got ran into the Gerotron, his sight have not been right since, and it's been 15 years. Well, no, it hasn't been 15 years. It's been like maybe 9 years.
Actually, no.
Cruz said Road Dogg and X-Pac will be there.
Has it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because he got ran into Jerichotron in 2007.
Oh,
2007. No, it was either 2007 or 2008. It was one of them. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But let's hang on 1 second. I'm sorry. Let's go on to the next match.
Now we can go to Pack the Arch because this one actually ties the theme in because first match, referee distraction. Second match, referee distraction. What happens with this match with Pack and Orange? Referee distraction.
And the fact that he had to use a low blow to beat Orange Cassidy.
And that hammer.
I had to call him a joke. I'd say he didn't deserve it.
Yeah.
So he had to use a low blow
that's
to
what makes
beat
the
him.
story interesting.
Exactly.
It's because he called him a joke, but you... Mm-hmm.
What?
I'm laughing at Cruz. He said, he was just playing. He don't watch WWE program.
Yeah, like Cruz been in and out of WWE programming for like the last 2 years, I believe. Yeah. Cruz, ever since we found like AEW, like he really doesn't pay attention to WWE programming anymore.
And shout out to Cruz, by the way, especially. If I'm ever on like a platform with Cruz and stuff like that, he normally the one that has to kind of keep me grounded with my opinions, because he'll with that calm voice of his, he's like, you gotta let it play out, and then he'll give you an explanation why. So shout out to Cruz.
Cruz is my luchador fan base. If I don't know nothing about luchador, AAA or CMLL, I go to Cruz. So
he definitely went. Yes, he definitely went. Also with the New York, and also with the New York indie scene too.
Cool.
So let's go on to the next one. Then, so we packing Orange Cassidy for the All Atlantic World Championship. Yep, and to go to y'all point, Pac goes up calling Orange joke, but yet you needed to use the little hammer that you ring the bell with to beat him. And I was like, and this is where I also brought up the referee thing. Ref, do you honestly think Pac just hit him with an incidental elbow and knocked Orange out? Come on now.
And then after the 1, 2, 3, he said, "What did you do? What did you do? What the?"
He's like, "I didn't do nothing. I didn't do shit. I didn't do nothing at all.
I just did this. That's all." Right.
Yeah, I just tapped him a little bit, and he just got knocked out. Maybe the wind. Maybe I got some steel in my elbow.
Yeah. So my question is they saving this for Full Gear?
I think so. I don't know. Either that or Winter's Coming, one or the other. Winter's Coming, yeah, because I think Winter's Coming is before Full Gear. No, it's after. Oh, it's after. Okay.
So they go. You think they're gonna try to take the belt? A belt off of Pac because he's the first double champion.
And I will give it to Orange too.
Now is Orange the one that we discussed that had like 8 title shots and haven't won one?
Because who was the original? Yeah, because Excalibur I think was the one who brought it up originally.
Yeah, because we said what, last year or 2 years ago maybe. He was this close to
Tony got. I'm telling you, Tony Khan got a problem. He got a really huge problem in AEW, a problem that he really needs to look very closely to. And when we go into that next segment, I'm telling you, we got some tea.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
But let's go on to the next match, which is the women's match. Toni Storm, Serena Deeb, Athena, and Dr. Brie Baker, DMD. So. Yeah. Okay. First of all, is Britt starting to take over the Jon Moxley role? Yes, she is.
Oh, yes, she is. But she's from the mouth.
She's the only relevant chick that's in AEW. Well, besides Jade.
I would say this time it wasn't her fault though. Athena, because you can see where she got injured at. Athena tried to pull that move that
she got her nose was busted.
Yeah, like she tried to pull that same move that Top Dollar did on SmackDown the previous week, where she's picking up like 3 people at the same time, and it's the way she dropped Britt landed flat on her face, and she didn't have her hand up to protect her from to break the fall or anything. So it was nasty.
I mean, it was a cool display, and unfortunately, DMD, her nose is sensitive.
I hate that spot. I'm sorry. I hate it because one, you got somebody that's about to either get suplexed, and then you try to have 2 people. And all you're doing is this. You just push them down. Right. And they're not protecting themselves. They're not, especially not to protect the person who's getting the suplex. Right. I've seen plenty of times it looked like a brain buster instead of suplex.
Right.
And if you don't practice that move enough, and you're just doing it for a hot spot of the match, something's gonna happen. Mm-hmm. And especially, and not to mention the person that's on the bottom, they probably can't hold that weight.
I will say this though, if I'm Toni Storm, I'm kind of low key mad because you already don't get any reaction. You barely get any reaction from anybody. But then you totally get overshadowed because Saraya makes her debut.
Nope.
I got a problem. I not have a problem with that. I got a situation.
Oh, you got a situation.
A situation here.
Situation.
Get a situation in. Oh yeah.
We're talking about somebody that broke her neck not once but twice.
Oh, Britt Baker?
No, Saraya.
Oh, Saraya.
Paige.
Okay.
Broke her neck twice, not once but twice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if she's clear or not. I don't know. Okay, but the fact that you come into a women's division that, as my partner down there, Reese, would say, is green as fucking, what is it, baby shit or bird shit?
Yeah.
After I just seen Ruby Soho took a spot that hurt my neck when I saw it.
Yeah, she took that TKO
and then took the TKO and broke her nose. And now you coming in this situation. And like we just said, Britt Baker land flat on her face, busted nose.
Mm-hmm.
I'm concerned that something's gonna happen to her. Just like with Jade on Rampage, when we get to that later, with her leg, like it got twisted when she caught that girl off the damn ropes.
Mm-hmm.
People are getting injured in the women's division because
there's a lot of folks that's getting injured, like period. Not just in the women's division. I mean,
I know, but I'm talking about I'm only saying women's division because she just joined the company.
Right.
And
then David Johnson, he said that am I bugging or Britt Baker's the only former AEW Women's Champion that's constantly featured on AEW television. No, you're not tripping. We're talking about that right now.
There's no Rhea, barely any Nyla.
No, Nyla.
And then her power Sheeta, I think, is back in Japan, right?
Oh no, Sheeta just came back because she was at All Out.
No. She was in Japan because he just won a tag team title in Joshi Pressure.
Right.
And then Thunder Rosa's hurt.
Supposedly.
Well, actually.
That's why I said
allegedly.
That's why I said that's why I say it like that. She's hurt.
Yes, allegedly. Because that was very suspect of how they took that belt off of her.
Like I said, I believe she's hurt, but I believe she wasn't hurt to the point to where she couldn't put Toni Storm over clean.
Yeah.
No, and then it's been rumored that, or it's been reported that she wasn't exactly hurt. It was just like her ego just took control. Let me see. What's the last match? Okay. So John Moxley versus Daniel Bryan. So this was once again predictable. I wanted Daniel Bryan to win so we could get like something fresh, something new. But once again, John Moxley, this wasn't his fault. I'm gonna have to say this. This wasn't his fault because of the CM Punk situation. CM Punk's supposed to be in this situation, but however, he was like going through menopause, and now he's getting ready to leave the company. And you guys know the fucking story with this shit. So
let me say this about CM Punk. I'll get this shit out the way right now. We chanted for. I'm gonna say we, all of us, because a lot of people took WWE hostage. We chanted his name for 7 years. We wanted him to come back to the business. He came back. We gave him a hero's welcome. The first year, it was all right. He said everything everybody wanted to hear. I'm here to help the young talent. I want to see if I can still go. Blah blah. But in the back of our head, we all knew this. CM Punk's a prick. He's not gonna change. It's all about CM Punk. Yeah. And when he found, he said, well, he took his little cupcake or muffin and took the towel and told.
It had the nerve to be shut. Listen, I had my pineapples, but I was eating my shit discreetly. Like I wasn't like shoving it all in my motherfucking mouth so people could say, "Hey, Chris, what the fuck is that white cream on your end of your?"
Basically, what had happened was that CM Punk done ran out all his ice cream bars, so We ain't had no more reason to like him anymore.
Yeah, but you don't shove that shit in your mouth on national television. You don't do that.
And then,
but anyway,
and then put everybody on the spot that was not even in the conversation. Coco Cabana, his situation, and all this stuff. I don't care. I don't care if it was predetermined or whatever. You don't bring that up.
And this is why. This is when you do shit like this, you put in a company not only in the bad spot, but all the storylines that were done for 6 months. But I guess AEW do shit on the fly, which that's their biggest weakness, because they do shit on the fly, and this shit is not they don't have an A, B, C, they don't have that. Now they have to change shit on the fly. And because you got bitch ass motherfuckers like CM Punk, this is the end result. So now we have to have Jon Moxley in our television again,
who was supposed to be gone for 6 weeks
on a vacation.
Yeah, he's supposed to be on vacation. But I want to say this, it's been said numerous times. I'm going to say it again. When it comes to this whole CM Punk thing, everybody was wrong in this situation. Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
CM Punk was, the Elite was, fucking Ace still was. Everybody involved in this was, everybody was wrong in this.
Fucking Hangman Page was wrong.
Well, what exactly did I try to understand? What exactly did Hangman actually do? All
right, so I'm gonna explain what he did that was so bad and why CM Punk got pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
It's so the promo that he cut was not discussed beforehand. The promo he cut basically is making he went into business for himself. It made CM Punk seem as an opportunist and an interloper and stuff like that. And it was not discussed beforehand. That's the direction that he was going to go with the promo. Mm-hmm. So he went into business for himself.
Okay, I get that.
Because I think what made CM Punk mad is because there's already this narrative of him being a bad apple and stuff out there, and he felt like with the way that Hangman Page cut that promo, all that's going to do is fuel speculation that he's the tiger that hasn't changed his stripes.
But it kind of came true now, didn't it?
Yep, sure did.
Yeah, but that was the genesis of it.
Yeah,
was Hangman Page.
Well, I mean, honestly, if you were a fan of, I'm not calling him. If you're a fan of Phil, right, and you know how he is, when he was like this in Ring of Honor, he was like this in Impact, he was like this in WWE, hell, he was like this in UFC. So what the hell make you think he was not gonna be like this in AEW?
But see, I agree with what Willis just said.
Oh, hold on, let me go back. Okay, so he said he doesn't
really.
Yeah.
You think
and then Chris said this. So he said that the main event pissed him off because Daniel Bryanson should have won that match because he could have brought more credibility to that title. Wait. I actually disagree. I think there is credibility to the championship. The fact is that I think CM Punk kind of fucked it up a little bit. He royally fucked up the AEW championship because he only had the championship for 6 seconds. I mean, fucking Kane had the WWE championship for a fucking 24 hours. I mean, that's longer than 2 CM Punk title reigns in AEW. I mean, I'm keeping this shit real. For real. My nigga, you only had it for 6 seconds?
No,
but the decision, if you think about it, the decision makes sense. It makes sense for Moxley to win.
I would see. This is the thing. I would agree. I agree with him on this. That if Bryan Danielson would have won, not saying it would have been credibility, but like you said earlier, Chris, it would brought a fresh air into it. Because Moxley, he's over. Let's keep it real. He's working. Everybody think he's the #1 guy this year. He was working. He's working his ass off. Right.
And you know what? Honestly, though. The fans don't respect Jon Moxley, even though he is over technically. Because if he was over, he would have been somewhere in top 5. This motherfucker was not even the top 10.
But that's not the PWI is not determined by fans, though.
No,
that's also not true. Only that, but You also
But
look at the time frame.
There are some neck beards behind the fucking pin.
And
yeah, point.
Wait a minute. No, that's like the fourth time I heard that shit. The neck beard.
Listen, am I lying? No.
See,
Willis. This my thing though.
Willis got to my point on why Moxley won. Willis got to my point.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm about to say Willis got to my point on why Moxley won, because don't matter who won this match, everything MJF is saying in the promo is holding true. Doesn't matter who wins the title, because he's going to be the next champ. He's going to defeat him. Would you rather?
I was chilling in that skybox.
Would you rather Bryan Danielson win the title and only have like a 2 or 3 month reign? When is Full Gear?
Full Gear is in
November 19th, so it's actually the week before Survivor Series.
Yes.
This is
right.
The thing though. I told people this. I said that they already told us that Jon Moxley's gonna win this when he interrupted MJF in Buffalo.
That's true.
Came out you already set up the damn story. So if you do your little videos, you're gonna have those two together. And plus, it was unfinished business when Moxley had the title the first time, and he used his finish move, which was banned, and he beat MJF. And MJF has not forgotten that. So you got a story going on. There's no story with MJF and Bryan Danielson. There is a story with Moxley and MJF. So you might as well go with that one.
Now, Faction Cast podcast asked this. He said, "Why Heyman won the Rumble?" Now, was this on Rampage?
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna. Y'all want to answer that now, or
let's go ahead.
Okay, all right. Let's kind of get it out of the way. So, to answer your question, I think the reason why, because they felt bad for Heyman Page, even though he created this BS in the back anyway. If you really looked at the whole pool in the Casino Royale or whatever the fuck you want to call that shit, he was like the only star on there, even though they could have gave it to Andrade, even though Andrade hasn't been booked correctly since he's been in AEW, and that's a fucking fact. And they could have gave it to him, but yet they gave it to Hangman Page, and that
actually Andrade wasn't even in the match.
They could have gave it to Roosh. They could have
Roosh. I'm sorry. Yep. I'm sorry. They all look the same.
Hell.
Anyway, they could have gave.
I hope y'all read that disclaimer before this video started. Okay.
I know. Yeah.
By the way, what the hell is Brian Cage doing in this match?
Exactly. Where he been?
Where
he been?
I totally forgot that Paige was there. Oh wow.
Brian Cage was there. Dalton Castle was there.
Wow. I totally forgot that.
Yeah.
And see, what I'm finna say next, I'm finna echo the words of JD from NY.
Go ahead, please.
All right. When you're booking these battle royals, stop booking it with a bunch of folks that we as fans are not gonna fucking believe has a chance of winning the match.
Yes.
I think that's really good advice. That's some damn good advice. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh my! Actually, I already told Reese this whole Rampage killed my buzz. It
really did. Like right after SmackDown, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Right after SmackDown, I was ready to wrap it up like a condom. I was ready to wrap it up.
It was done like the pay-per-view. Let's start with how that second hour started. If we go with anything. Let me read this comment real quick. Then we'll go to your thing real quick. So Faction Cast podcast. He said, I think the problem with AEW. I think the problem with AEW problem is that they play hot potato with their titles a lot. They did it for the TNT Championship, and now they're doing it for the World Title.
In fairness, though, there's a slight difference between the two titles. Is that the AEW title's getting flip-flopped and hot potatoed because guys keep getting hurt. Whereas with TNT, they're just trying to make it. They're trying to make it a little bit like one of them titles where the competition's so good that anybody can win at any given time. Kind of like how the early days of the X division was for TNA Impact.
But you got to remember, the TNT title is a television title.
Yeah.
A television title is supposed to flip-flop. It's been historically booked like that. It's been booked like that since the 80s. It was booked like that in the 90s when you had Booker T and Rick Martel and Chris Jericho and Dean Malenko and Finley and all them other ones and William Regal, Regal was probably the most celebrated television champion in the 90s. The title flip-flop. That's what a television title does. For the world title, let me correct you on something, Reese. You said people kept getting hurt. I'm going to correct you. CM Punk kept getting hurt. That's
right. That part.
With his heel and then his pride. But but you know
what? And his pride.
Well, you know what? That's the battle royal. It kind of started all over the place. They gave interest and everybody just ran out and had the round the ring battle. And then when they got in the ring, the people that was in there, you haven't seen on television. Hell, you probably didn't even see them on dark. You didn't see them even on dark. That's bad, right? So they was just there to be sacrificial lambs, and probably the only two people that you probably would have saw had opportunity was Hangman or Roosh.
And then to Take It Home podcast, he said this. He said, "I think this will make Daniel Bryanson's future win more special." Even in his promo, he said he beat everyone who beat him. Moxley is the only one he hasn't beat.
Yep. Yeah, in AEW. Yeah.
In AEW.
Yeah, because Excalibur said it right there and there. He's like their all-time record. Bryan is 9-2 against Moxley, but he hasn't beaten him in AEW. The only 4 losses he got in AEW, he answered 3 of them. He didn't answer the 4th one, which was Moxley. So, I mean, it would be a good story, but I honestly thought it would have been better if Bryan would have won. But then it made sense that Moxley won because they already told us he was going to win, and the story is right there already for him and MJF. Since CM Punk or Phil is not there to do the rights to give it to MJF, Moxley was the next best thing.
And then David Johnson said that a small part of me feels that Mox got the title because of MJF can get more heat going after Jon Moxley's personal life than he can with Bryan. That is a very good point.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
He already brought up.
Hey, you know what, Dave? I'm here for that energy because I'm petty like that. But Chris said T.Y. I think this is Tortai. Yeah. How is Moxley a locker room leader? Jericho is the real leader in the locker room. Oh, he's mad. He said he's helping talent behind the curtain on what to say and what not to say, and etc.
I don't think that was a mad reaction, but I was like,
I know, but he got the exclamation point.
I actually kind of agree with it to a point.
You got to remember the role of locker room leader is shared equally 3 ways with Mox and Danielson and Jericho. They are holding that shit down
right now.
But I think like Jericho more in the public relations kind of sense that he's that locker room leader because like you hate to like me mention at the very end of that comment that he's telling people what to say, what not to say, when to say it, where to say it.
He was doing that from day one. If you remember, I don't think anybody his podcast. He said it. He had a problem how the Lucha Brothers was doing their tag team wrestling style, and they was not telling the story. And if you look at like probably the next year when they won the tag team titles, that was one of the best matches, if not the best match of that card. With the Young Bucks.
Yeah, so, there's always room for improvement. Yeah. You know, it doesn't even matter how great you are. Like, you know, there's always like you can always critique it. You know what I'm saying? Like in wrestling, from the interviews that I've had with celebrity wrestlers and any wrestlers, they said that you can always improve. You can always like find a new move. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah. Take It Home podcast. Chris said that Bryan might be the only one to beat MJF. Jon Moxley, transitional champion here. I agree with that because Bryan's first reign shouldn't have been transitional so quickly.
I agree. And, that's what we pointed out earlier. Like, do y'all want Danielson's first reign to be like 2 or 3 months? That's not right. If you want his first reign to mean something,
Mm-hmm.
And I think what Danielson has a grasp of, he know it's better to let the people wait. That way, when he wins the title, it's going to be at a fever pitch.
It's like he. I don't know if I'm gonna say this. It's like he's bringing a little bit of his title win, WrestleMania 30. How the crowd got into it, got behind, and then when they finally did it right for him, it was a big celebration. So if he do it here, his story in AEW, let's see, he left WWE to come here back to wrestling, and remember that's what he said when he first came out. I came back to wrestle and all that stuff. And he said, I came here to bust heads open. I ain't here to blah. You know the story. So he goes in, he's fighting. So I think this was his third title opportunity. He couldn't get it done. And it mirrors his career if you think about it. In Ring of Honor, it was like the same way. He had to fight his way to get that title. He had to fight.
I'll tell you how. I'll tell you how.
I swear I do.
I'll tell you how I would book it. I would have MJF win the title at Full Gear.
All right.
I would have MJF hold that title until the very last Dynamite of 2023. Because we know what happens. We know what happens January 1st, 2024, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I would do a Roman Reigns type of situation.
Con? Yeah. Pay your check up there to Mr. Garland if that happens.
Right. I'm telling you, that's how you book it. You have him hold that title. You have him hold that title to the last Dynamite of 2023. Because
he said that. He said he's going to use that belt as a bargaining chip.
Exactly. As a marketing tool. And you book it in the sense you're trying to stop this motherfucker from expiring and holding your title.
And Ryan
you have Danielson come through and save the fucking day. The last time this was done, I'll give a perfect example. ECW, right? When the Dudleys were tag team champions, they were tag team champions in 1999, and they made their last appearance on ECW television with the tag titles. They were going to leave. Reese know what I'm getting at. So Tommy Dreamer went in there trying to fight him by himself. Who comes to save the day for Tommy Dreamer? The guy he hates the fucking most in the world, Raven. Raven comes in, boom, even flow DDT, pinfall, Tommy Dreamer, and Raven wins the tag team titles.
Oh man, what a ride that was!
that was like one of them hell frozen over moments.
Yep,
right.
Exactly.
So, fellas, let's get into SmackDown real quick. Let's talk about this. SmackDown. Okay, so for my opinion, SmackDown was boring as shit.
Really?
Before the first one, the honorary Oos segment.
Okay.
Reese, y'all talk about this.
Okay,
that shit was funny.
And I thought Sammy was getting kicked out that moment because, like, go ahead, Tony.
Oh God. Let me get this out because I really want to explode because it was kind of funny because Jay, as you know, Jay been hating on Sammy for the longest.
Right.
And Sammy is very excited. He want to talk all the fucking time. Pretty much like me. But but when Roman turned around, Roman straight up face, they're not live, he said, what are you still doing around here? I like you, but why you walking by? I said, why you got our shirt on? And you can hear Jay in the background, take that off, take it off.
Take that shit off.
Right. So I mean on camera he's saying this. So when he ripped the shirt off, I thought he was gonna jump him. They were surrounded. I thought he was gonna jump him and said he told him to put that shirt on. He said honorary Oos. and the crowd start chanting Sammy.
They were saying that even before Sammy cut the mic and started talking.
Right. So it's like they set it up. Like we've been calling this for I don't know how many months. Like me and Reese been calling this for I don't know how many months. That Sammy, we gonna get the underdog from the underground real soon. But they just working it up now.
And you know what's crazy? Low key in this is making Sammy one of the biggest baby faces on the roster. And then the fact, and this is confirmed here because I looked this shit up myself. Did you guys know that the only sizes left available in that honorary Uce shirt is in small, 3XL, and 4XL?
Damn.
Between medium and extra large are all sold out. People are buying these shirts like it's hotcakes.
Hey, you know what, man? I mean, honestly, I think this. I don't know what it is for the past 4 or 5 months. What they're doing with Sammy is unbelievable. Like this dude used to be the most annoying thing on TV.
You know what?
It's the same Sammy, but now he's getting chanted.
Tony,
he's getting.
Tony, I can answer that for you right now.
What?
That whole thing, and to go back to what Stephen was talking about at the top of the show with celebrities, all that shit he did with Johnny Knoxville, and how he just took it, that somehow got him over. And it's crazy to really explain it and make it sound logical, but it was like
that part faction. That part.
It's Yeah, it's like somehow all that damn craziness he done did during the whole Johnny Knoxville feud actually managed to get him over somehow.
Right. And I mean, I'm gonna say that too. Yeah, they are bugging him up because once he makes a mistake or he costs the Usos the tag team titles or something like that, they gonna turn on him.
Wait a minute, Toad. I got another one for you. Survivor Series. What if Sammy's the one that quits War Games?
That could happen.
Wow, you got a point.
Who they gonna face at War Games? Because
that's gonna be the question.
Fans are making too many damn fan art, and I kind of getting sick of it because I want it to be organic and stop trying to guess this shit about this damn Bray Wyatt and the Family Funhouse. They just putting people in there and stuff. Let it be organic. If it's Bray Wyatt, let's just wait and see what happens.
Shit like this, y'all.
Like this.
We're seeing this.
And we're following we're playing Hangman and we're following a White Rabbit to a
I'm trying to figure out why you motherfuckers is getting shirts and you don't know who this person is. Do you know how much that shirt is? That shirt is $27 motherfucking dollars that I can use toward a fucking bill. And then someone said, and I'm not going to say his name, but he said that he is going to take that shirt back because this is not Bray Wyatt. You dumb motherfucker, dude. You don't get shirts and you don't know who this person is.
And the thing is, like you said, you don't know who it is. So if it's not Bray Wyatt and come out to be, I don't know, goddamn,
but it's going to be past the return period by then.
Right. So what you gonna do? You gonna burn it like y'all do with everything else y'all don't like?
Right, exactly.
Bro. Like I understand that y'all get money, but buying shirts and you have no idea who is behind this shirt just don't make sense. And then take that podcast saying, "What happened if the White Bunny is Bad Bunny?"
But better not be Bad Bunny. It could be worse. It could be Jason Jordan for all we know.
And we're gonna move on.
And then Faction Cast Podcast said, have Sammy take the pin at Survivor Series and then turn on them.
Well, hold on. This is War Games.
Yeah,
so they go to War Games. You got to give up. Not the NXT version where you get the pin and stuff. You got to give up in War Games.
So this is how we book Survivor Series. You already confirmed you have 2 War Games matches, right?
Yep.
Then you only have 1 traditional Survivor Series match with the men and 1 traditional Survivor Series match with the women. Then you have, I don't know, Bobby Lashley versus Gunther or something like that. 5 matches.
Walter.
5 matches. That's all you need. That's all you need for Survivor Series. You don't need no more than that.
That's the formula that work in NXT.
I agree, because you got to remember, War Games is going to take a chunk of amount of time because it's War Games.
Yeah.
And then the Survivor Series style match is going to take a lot of time because that's a lot of people that need to be eliminated.
And you got two War Games. You got the men's War Games, the women's War Games. So
between them two, that's going to take up a whole hour just by itself.
Very much so. Yeah.
Right.
But speaking of our Intercontinental Champion, oh yes, we get round 2 next week. I don't know where next week's SmackDown taking place, but all y'all doctors, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. All right. So all y'all doctors that are going to be working in whatever city SmackDown going to be in 2 weeks, I'm letting y'all know, y'all fitting to get paid.
Yes.
If you thought the match in Cardiff that their chest was swollen and they got all them welts and stuff off, double that come this rematch next week, because
I really think that I think this is a mistake. I think that they should do this at Extreme Rules, where they can use weapons, where we can see more brutality, instead of having this on a premiere show.
Wait,
I don't think they should do this.
You want to see Walter with a weapon?
Yeah.
Yes. Why not?
I'm about to say
he is a weapon.
The motherfucker himself is a weapon.
He is the weapon.
He is a fucking weapon. You telling me you don't want to see weapons?
Not in Gunther hands. He is the weapon.
Yeah,
weapon.
They already got another weapon.
Like y'all already done dubbed this match.
It gonna be like Mike Tyson in the 80s. It'll be a one-hit knockout.
Look, already done dubbed the Walter Sheamus matches the Big E Invitational Part 2.
Oh Lord.
The first one was the Big E Invitational Part 1 because it's big meaty men slapping meat all day long. For real.
All that beefy meat, right?
Yeah.
Not about that damn line.
The only
And
problem
For real.
Fashion Cast Podcast said, I saw someone on Twitter say that they're going to sue the WWE if it's not Bray Wyatt.
Wow.
Then they need to shut their little dumb ass up.
Good luck.
But
I was
can somebody confirm something for me real quick? So I seen earlier on Twitter that Sammy had gotten into it with AJ Styles because AJ Styles was trying to clown him about getting the honorary Ooze shirt.
Yeah.
And then Sammy replied to it, but I don't know if somebody made an image or what, but I keep hearing that it's going to be Sammy versus AJ on Monday.
Yeah, so apparently they had an storyline argument, I guess, on Twitter or somewhere on social media. They were going back and forth or whatever, and yes, they're going to have a match tomorrow.
Man, tell AJ like Jay need to stop hating, man. Stop hating on that man. He's the honorary Oos, okay?
I thought it was a tag team match.
That's on SmackDown.
Okay. That's gonna be him and Madcap.
And then AB said this. He said, I have him give up to someone who threatened to hurt Roman badly and have Jay and Solo be mad at him, but Jimmy and Roman be sympathetic to him and keep the pairing longer. And then a Fashion Podcast also said, have the women's War Games start off and have the men's War Games ended.
Yeah.
If the bloodline is in the War Games, you have that. I agree with that. You have it in the show if it's the main event.
Yeah.
And then Willis said that Roman Soft Ass will not be in a War Games match. And then Fashion's Cast Podcast said that they're going to have Sammy versus AJ on Raw. Solo is going to be in Sammy's corner.
But you know what? Back to what he said about Roman not being in War Games. That actually does make sense because if you think about it, it's a 4-man tag. Mm-hmm. So you got the Usos, Solo, and then Sammy going there.
Yeah, have the Foot Soldiers go in there, not the Tribal Chief.
You got to remember, sometimes they alternate it. It could be 4-on-4. It could be 3. It could be 3 teams of 3. It could be 2 5-man teams. They change it up sometimes.
That's true.
Yeah, but I think it would make sense if it's 4 because then you definitely know Sammy go be the one that's going to take the pinfall or something, and that would just get Jay to get Jay mad as hell and do that face he did on SmackDown. Yep. So we're talking.
Hey, I got a wild take on it. Here's my take. You know what I would do? I would have Jay be the one to quit. continue that all this will do is extend the storyline, have it feed more into the fact that Sammy's trying to break up the bloodline.
And
that could work. Yeah,
in-house.
Work.
Because then Roman and them and Solo and Jimmy and all of them will be looking at him like, bro, you quit. You worried about this man over here, but you were the one that quit in War Games. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Feed more into it.
It's crazy though. It's crazy though how this whole thing started because of Jay.
Yep.
He's the one that went after Roman for the title. Roman became Universal Champion
and ended up becoming his right hand man,
and all this stuff. And now he's the one that's doing all the hating on Sammy, and if it goes down like that, and he's the one that quit. Oh man, yeah, that could go on to probably Royal Rumble, probably,
at least.
So.
And then so I'm just gonna tell you guys what happened. Some more stuff that happened on SmackDown. Liv Morgan defeats Lacey Evans versus via pinfall, hitting Oblivion. That shit was sloppy as shit. Morgan, who faced Ronda Rousey in Extreme.
Not as sloppy as that damn senton she did off the going to the table.
Can I rant on this real quick?
Yeah, give me 1 second. Let me just real quick. So Liv Morgan is going against Ronda Rousey in the Extreme Rules match in the upcoming pay-per-view on the same name. Attacked Evans with a kendo stick and drove her through a table. And then Hit Row, Street Profits, and Shinsuke Nakamura was partying backstage. We're gonna get into that in a second. Then New Day, Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods defeats the Max Male Models, Mansoor and Mace via pinfall in a short match. Max Dupree threw a tantrum post-match. Braun Strowman defeats Otis via pinfall after landing at massive powerbomb. This is Braun Strowman's first match in the WWE in 16 months. Sheamus announced an Intercontinental title rematch against the champion Gunther in 2 matches on the premiere of the season of SmackDown premiere on SmackDown. And then Drew McIntyre challenges Killer Cross to a strap match at Extreme Rules. Cross and Scarlett attacks Drew McIntyre, puts him in sleep and accepts the challenge. And then Rachel Rodriguez, aka Magna, the Trump supporter, defends
the Vizio scream back.
Yeah, defeats Dakota Kai via pinfall following the distraction by Shanti. Damage control, Kati, Bailey, and Io Sky attacks Rodriguez and Shanti post-match, but was sent packing.
Yeah.
So that was what happened on SmackDown.
You forgot one match. The tag team title match.
Oh yes, the main event. What did you guys think about that?
It was good. The Brutes have gotten better as a team, and I'm glad to see that people are taking a liking to it.
Well, you got to remember, they like Pete Dunne.
Yeah.
We like Pete Dunne. I don't call him Butch. I call him Pete Dunne. But I don't like Ridgeway. Okay, I don't care. I don't care they cheer Ridgeway. I don't like him. Big E is home.
Okay?
Ridge. Big E is home where he could have been trying to get his career back in order after his title reign was not up to par. You know what I mean? So, but I will give credit where credit's due. They hung with the Usos. They should have won that match a couple of times. Right?
I think what helped the fans get into it, and it's something that we as fans have been denied for years, is the fact that earlier in the show they showcased the dominance of the Usos in the tag team title reigns. I think those, when they do like vignettes and promos like that, it helps make the match feel a little more important. And that match had a big fight feel to it.
But just like they did with the U.S. title,
yes,
like they did with the Intercontinental title,
yes,
they showing the importance of these titles again, and we're seeing them every week, either defend it or in a match somewhere, and instead of being in the back next to them on the table eating the salad, they in the freaking wrestling ring, and I'm loving it. And yeah, the tag team. I think this is actually probably the best few months of the tag team division in a long time in WWE.
Yes.
They've been very lackluster in the tag team division. So instead of seeing the Usos and New Day for the zillion time, we're seeing other teams step up. And
I love that we're seeing actual teams.
Yeah.
No, we ain't seeing motherfuckers just put together and stuff. We're seeing actual teams go out there and wrestle. And I like that.
Names. With names. With wrestling names.
Stefan, what you wanted to rant about, though?
I wanted to rant about the Liv Morgan, Lacey Evans thing.
Oh,
I wanted to rant about that because you're she had an extreme moment, whoop-de-doo, but we know how this match is going to end at the end of the day. You know, she's gonna get her ass whooped. The title reign needs to end. I don't get some of you fans that wanted this title reign to happen in the first place. I mean, I seen this all coming. Now some of y'all done turned on her because y'all realize what most of us been knowing for years. She's not that good in the ring. Now y'all finding it out. Now y'all turning on her after she got her payoff because now y'all finding that out. And then
listen to Enzo.
Right. Oh yeah. Did you read what Enzo said about her?
Yep, I got it. Here you go. Here you go.
That's crazy.
Hang on, let me.
But that's a fact, though. That's a fact.
Right.
What lie did he tell?
It's a fact, but at the same time, you want to know. I'm going to add something to that. That's the second woman that was around Big Cass and Enzo that is SmackDown Women's Champion.
Bella.
Facts.
Where, and I mean, he could throw salt on it and well deserved. It makes sense. It's a true statement. But at the same time, you was one of the hottest products in WWE. You with the mic, Big Cass with the work, and y'all didn't get at least half of the success that the two women that was in y'all lives got.
You're right, Chris. She's just another pretty face. That's it.
That's all she is.
She ain't even got hell. Matter of fact, they didn't even get the NXT tag team titles.
Right?
No.
But at the same time, I'm back to like what Steph was talking about was that y'all found out who she was when we knew who she was when she had 201 on her jersey in NXT.
She can't wrestle.
She's a nice girl. Okay,
very nice.
But when you're trying to build up a championship and you got some badass women there that didn't even get this opportunity that she got, and y'all was fighting for this because Becky Lynch said she's a future champion. No, Becky Lynch could be wrong sometimes, and she was not ready. Her first title defense told us that she tapped out. She's supposed not tapped out.
And see, this is what leads to my rant. I'm tired of these folks on the internet that get behind somebody because they look good. Stop doing that shit. If they're not ready, they're not ready. Y'all did that with Liv Morgan. Y'all did that with Carmella a few years back for some odd reason. Y'all liked her for some odd reason.
You knew how to moonwalk, man. You knew how to moonwalk.
Y'all tried to. Hold on. I even see people try to do this with Aaliyah, which all of us know Aaliyah is trash in the ring. I seen a video on Twitter earlier. I meant to tweet it to you earlier, Chris, of her cutting a promo backstage. And you can see that she's reading from a teleprompter. Like blatantly. It's like she kept looking down and looking back up, and then the way she was reciting the promo was like she's reading. It was the worst promo I have seen in probably all of my 32 years on this earth.
Wow.
So guys, before we go on, okay. So I decided because we going into 2 hours, I'm gonna kind of shorten it to like 20 more minutes. So we're going to go into the other topics, topics that we really need to talk about, which is Paige debuting on
Dynamite.
AEW. Yeah, no, yeah. What's it? Yeah, Dynamite. Yeah. So, but yeah, before we go on to that, I'm gonna let Mr. Man finish his comment. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's just what I'm getting at is that when it comes to women, just because they look good doesn't mean that they deserve this and they deserve that. And we need to get back to a mindset that is based on the talent. I've seen people do this now with Cora Jade in NXT 2.0. Newsflash, guys, she's not that good. She's green as shit. But y'all want her to get pushes and stuff like that. What I'm getting at is that when it comes to people like Liv Morgan and stuff like that, stop it. Because then y'all come back later and say this person is trash. Pay attention like we do. If we know they're trash from the jump and they're not getting any better.
21, I think. Yeah, let her get some time to develop.
Right.
It's not only that, is not only that they're trash, but they're putting people's lives in fucking danger, and that's what I got a problem with.
That's that right there.
That's what I got a problem with. You putting these people in that's not experienced, that's still like greenish bird shit or baby shit, and they gonna hurt somebody, and not only get themselves hurt, get the opponent hurt, and you're gonna mess up the whole match. The match, your career, it's not good. It's not safe. Let her go back. I mean, granted, she trained with Matt Riddle for some submissions and all that stuff, but she needed to learn how to run those ropes. She needed to learn how to take a bump. She needed to learn how to land on the fucking ring, on the ring before she hurt herself. Because some of those times she looks scary. It looks scary. It's like she's overselling something that don't need to be oversell.
Right.
Right. Do they want another streak of injuries to happen like when Nia Jax was still employed with the company? Hurting folks because they was green? We don't need that shit happening again. You know, and look, granted, nobody can be a Saraya. Everybody can't be a Saraya who was trained from when they was a child all the way into, you know, their young adulthood. Mm-hmm. I understand that completely, but put in the effort and try to get better.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just like right now. What's her name? Nakia Lyons. They wanted to put her on the main roster so fast. Triple H said no. No.
Nope.
They was supposed to be in that tag team tournament. She was not injured. She was not ready.
Nope, she wasn't. Nope. So everyone, let's go to well, first of all, let me do my final shout-outs real quick. So yes, if you guys want to donate, you can just donate to my Cash App, $, Mr. Team Bring It, Dealworth on Cash App. And
scan
also scan the code. Yes, scan the code if you can. Yes, scan it.
WWE, that's where you could send Chris money if y'all ever take some ideas from him again.
You stupid. And then also everybody show up to the cookout on Twitter. Like this shit it's hot. Like we got wrestlers that's coming to the cookout. You know, we talk about everything and everything basically. We talk about we talk about sex, we talk about relationships, we talk about wrestling. We had a damn good conversation earlier.
That shit was fun.
It was great. Like we do this like every other day. I'm not doing this shit tonight because when I'm done, I'm cooking my chicken and all that good shit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, shout out to T.O. T.O. is going through a lot right now. He's actually traveling at this time. He got to go to 2 funerals, so yes, he will not be back until like next week sometime. So, but yeah, thoughts and prayers with him and his family. But yeah, so yeah, let's go on to let's talk about some shit that's been going on. First, let's get Paige shit out the way first. Let me just go up to here.
They say like most overshadowing moment ever.
Yeah, so yes. Paige debuted on Dynamite this past Wednesday. She's under another Saraya, I believe.
Yeah, that's her name.
Yeah, so she came out. There's speculation that she is not cleared, but I believe I'm not sure if she is, but she said, do not listen to the dirt sheets. Tune in to Dynamite this upcoming Wednesday. I do not know what she meant by that, but apparently she's ready to go. But yeah,
she just gonna talk and they gonna set up something. That's all. My question is, I think it was your question, Chris. Why is WWE fans mad?
Yes, that is my one question. That's the one thing I really want to know. Like, why is WWE fans mad at this shit? Like why?
This is the problem. This is the problem with it's the same old problem. It don't matter if it's AEW, it don't matter if it's TNA, it don't matter if it's WCW back in the day. If you're used to a person in WWE, you feel like they traded on your favorite company, WWE, and now you're mad at them for making a decision to make them happy. She made a decision. She didn't want to resign. She wanted to get a chance to wrestle. WWE didn't want to take a chance on her. Again, like I said earlier, she broke her neck twice. Mm-hmm. But we've seen wrestlers come back from broken necks. And that took years away from the ring. Edge, Bryan Danielson, Stone Cold. Okay? If they could still go and they got clearance, fine. Cool. I got a problem. I don't have a problem. I just worry.
Yeah.
I'm worried because you're coming into. We just saw this not that long ago at All Out on 0 Hour, and of course on Friday with Jade. Like they're green. They're still green, and this women's division is. I don't know what's a good word to say about it, but
that's what it is. They're green.
I mean, that's what I
brought up. And most of these women are not rookies, which is the crazy part about this.
You're right. They're not rookies.
Now, granted, they not, like I said, on Embrace the Terrace, that, they may not be to the level of somebody like a Mercedes Martinez who've been in the game for 20 years, but they have been in for like maybe 5, 6 or something like that. Mm-hmm. So they've been in at least long enough. They've been in long enough to have some experience under their belt. They should at least have the basics down pat.
Mm-hmm. And to go what Willis just said, the tribalism is worthless. Yes, it is, but at the same time, it's hard to try to be that. It's hard to try to be that one person that's going to tell you that say, hey, if you her fan, support her wherever she's going. Yep. But it's one of you against 10 to hundreds of people else going to say, no, she's a traitor, blah blah. You know what? I guess that's the way the new fan base is now. All right. Yep.
This fan base is
I for one, like I said, if she's happy, I'm happy, and I still get to see it on TV. But at the same time, I am worried because just like Ziggy just said, Ruby got dropped on her goddamn neck, and no one checked on her. And then they did the finish on her where she broke her neck. Broke her nose.
Right.
And
man,
that's just, I know that's like the one example I bring up because right now that's the last example I have in my head. I could bring up more. I could bring up when Nyla Rose down there broke Britt Baker's leg last year or 2 years ago. I could bring up more. It's just that this latest thing happened and you just made your debut the very next week.
Now, Tone, I would say that if they're doing anything with her, I'm hoping that at least for the immediate time that she's kind of playing like the Madison Rain kind of role. Like she's being that she's being more like a trainer and a backstage person first. But then like if she wants to transition into the ring, like after we do know that she's definitely clear and stuff, then like slowly phase her out of that. But still maybe she could like still do both. I don't know.
But see, Reese, this is the thing. See how you saying that? Now think like Tony Khan.
Oh yeah, wait a minute. Yeah.
Okay. Think like Tony Khan. After hearing that pop last week, you think he gonna waste that pop on training?
Nope.
Sure.
No, he's gonna have her in the ring, and you know,
Exactly.
like y'all both very eloquent in explaining this in full, and I agree with both of y'all. I am concerned for her health. I'm also concerned about this bullshit tribalism that we've been dealing with ever since AEW came into existence. Now, I done seen some ugly shit said on the internet, and I'm trying to stay calm right now because, you know, when I get passionate about something, I tend to get loud, so I do apologize in advance.
Okay.
But for y'all, and I'm not saying necessarily anybody in here, but the ones that's doing this bullshit, for y'all to immediately bring up painful shit from her past, to bring up all the dumb shit that she admitted herself that was dumb shit that she shouldn't have did, and the shit that she said that almost had her to the point to where she didn't want to live anymore. And y'all bring up all this bullshit because y'all are upset because she did not resign with the WWE. It's complete bullshit. Most of y'all ought to be ashamed of yourselves.
They're not. They're not ashamed.
No, I don't know if you're fans. You're not great. Well, let me just say this. If all right, I think I shared a picture because I thought it was funny. And I need to laugh because I was going through some stuff this week where they, you know how they got the one-on-one tag team trios, and someone circled it and said AEW already lying. So I say, all right, it's funny, blah blah. But then I said, no, it's not, right? Because I know what they meant. Everybody know what they meant. Just like you said, bringing up the old stuff, the NXT, you know, all that stuff, blah blah. But this is the world that we live in. And
the crazy thing about all this, she lived a whole adult. She done lived a whole entire adult life, and she just now turned 30. Before the age of 30, she was dealing with a sex tape being leaked, doing drugs, abusive ass ex-boyfriend, all sorts of bullshit, all before the age of 30. Yeah, surgeries, all sorts of shit.
I like that idea, Ty. I like the idea if she can't wrestle, that she be the perfect person to manage Jamie Hayter. I like that idea. Anyway, they're cool. Anyway, they used to grow. They used to be around each other a lot. Jamie Hayter used to wrestle with her mother. So they know each other. But that's the only thing I'm concerned about. I don't care where she wrestles. If I can see her wrestle, I'm down with it. But if she can wrestle and in the environment and be cool, then let me see how it goes. But right now it's green over there.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about this. I'm gonna leave this one for the cookout for tomorrow, so we'll have something to talk about. So yeah, everybody follow us on Twitter. Follow me, T.O., Stephen, and Reese. Follow all of us on Twitter. But if you want to come to the main cookout, just follow me. I'm under H4L Wrestling Pod. So hit me up on Twitter if you guys want to join the cookout tomorrow. The two last topics I want to talk about before we head on out. Let me bring this up real quick. Okay, the Teddy Long situation. I'm gonna put out a video because a lot of y'all was trying to figure out like why was he going on a spree. We got the information here. But first, also we want to get on about Bobby Fish. We will probably talk. Well, we talked a little bit about that on the cooking at the cookout or whatever. But if you guys didn't know, he is on Impact Wrestling, and this is what he had to say.
Guy, I've never thought of myself as a problem. You know, I'm a guy who does his job well. And frankly, after more than 20 years, I'm just not here for the bullshit. All right, well, my point is this, is that locker room back there is full of legit dudes. Guys that I know will step between those ropes and they will give it a go and it'll be everything they got and they know what they're doing and they're not here faking the funk.
And then this is what Teddy Long said about the blocking spree.
Hey, what's up, players? WWE Hall of Famer Teddy Long. Just wanted to get on here this morning and let everybody know, as you know, I'm right here at LA Fitness, my second home. Somebody hacked my Twitter account. I have no idea who it was. I think it was somebody that I blocked that was mad because I blocked them, and then they wanted to hack my shit and block everybody else. Well, I want to thank them because the first thing they did, they got me trending. So this is like the third time I've ever been trending. So that tells me, Teddy Long, you still got it. But let me explain this to you, players. I didn't block anybody. Like I said, it might have been that person that hacked me. I might have blocked him, and you can see why I blocked him. So my Twitter is verified, so I didn't block anybody. So I don't want y'all mad at me, and I'll be coming maybe next week. We'll talk further about this. I'll be doing maybe a couple of podcasts, and we'll about it, but I didn't block anybody, so I'm letting y'all know it was not me. My Twitter was hacked, and players, I love all y'all. All right, let me try to get this workout in, and I'm gonna give you a little peep here. I'm getting ready to do some ab work, and let's see here. We got about 295 there. So we got 295 pounds on the ab machine here, so we're gonna get ready to do that. All right, like I said, just wanted to clear the air. I didn't block it. It wasn't me. Somebody hacked my shit. So y'all keep it sweet today and stay safe. Holla.
So that was what Teddy said today about the blocking spree, because everybody wanted, because like Teddy Long was trending on Twitter, and I was like, why is Teddy Long on Twitter? I hope he didn't die. Like, what the fuck? What happened? So apparently somebody like hacked his shit. So Teddy's good, and he will talk more about that on the podcast that he showed up with. Teddy, if you can hear us, if I see you on Twitter, please come to the hashtag Kills for Life Wrestling podcast.
Come on, player.
Give us another match with The Undertaker.
I gotta say, it's low-key heartwarming how many people participated in that, because it lets you know there's still a lot of people that care about Teddy Long, and it's just heartwarming seeing everybody from every walk of life in professional wrestling comment on that.
I think, like, man, look at Teddy's pretty much been damn near everywhere. Like,
yes.
I think, yes, we are definitely going to talk about that on the cookout. Unfortunately, I couldn't get to it because we had so much shit to talk about. So anything that we do not talk about tonight, we will talk about that on the cookout tomorrow morning. Yes, most definitely. But yes, very great show, everyone. Thank you guys so much for hanging with us. I know it's late. For the people that's in the Caribbean and in Florida, watch out for right now it's Tropical Storm Ian. Right now, they said that the storm's supposed to be a hurricane by the time we get up tomorrow morning. So hopefully it misses Florida, and we will be praying for you guys that's in the Caribbean and in Florida. So but yeah, I am we'll be back for let's see episode 196. We will be having a indie wrestler come on the show next week, and we'll dive into some topics in the indie scene or whatever, so you guys can actually get a clear picture of what they go through or whatever. So I said I was going to have a couple of indies guys come on here. The 200 episode, I still have not decided what we're going to do. If you guys have any suggestions or anything like that, you can always email us. Heels for Life Wrestling Heels for Life Wrestling Podcast at gmail.com, and y'all can put all of y'all responses in there. What you say, Reese?
Yeah, because I'd be thinking that'd be like what, day before Halloween, I believe.
I believe so. Yep.
We'll make this our be WCC Halloween Havoc.
We could probably do that. Right, dress up. We could probably do that. You never know. I don't know what we're gonna do, but it's gonna be fun. We'll probably, as a collective, we'll probably talk about it or whatever. But yeah, once again, follow us on Twitter. If y'all want to do the cookout tomorrow, if y'all want to join the cookout, all you gotta do is just follow me, follow all of us, whatever. So, but yeah, until that time, I'm Mr. Team Brigade, aka Beefy Boy, aka Sugar Nipples. You know what I'm saying?
I'm Steven, aka the real Garland. I don't know who the fake one is, but he ain't real like me.
Yeah, I'm your boy, the enforcer. Good night.
And I am the one and only Rockin' Reese.
And remind you, everybody, when you are talking on the phone, make sure that your service is not nervous. Good night, everybody. Peace.
Thanks.